Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Tuesday Talk. Today I've got just, I'm hoping it's going to be a fairly quick video again. I'm going to give you a recap of the week's costs with highlighting a couple of meals. And I'm going to answer a couple of questions that were asked of me this week. So I think I'll just start with a recap of what I'm doing. So this month, my September challenge is clean Ketogenic, no snacking in between. I'm doing 16-8 fasting, intermittent fasting, which means I have my last meal around 4-ish, between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. Then I don't eat till the next morning, 16 hours minimum. So it usually takes me, depending on when I ate, it takes me to about 10 a.m., sometimes later. So, and sometimes these have turned out to be 18 hours. And I even did one 24-hour fast this past week. So the main thing is no snacking. And because my eating window has been very small, I really don't have room to snack. Like I'm still full by the time, I'm starting to think about dinner. I'm like, usually my first meal is the biggest meal and the second meal is smaller, I have found. I'm also still continuing to do no desserts. I'm not baking anything with stevia. I'm not doing anything like that. I did have a couple of times this month so far. I did have a small keto dessert consisting of some ice cream, keto ice cream, and fit well within my macros. Well, not even counting macros, but it fit well within my parameters of my fasting. Didn't seem to cause any issues for me, both acid reflux wise. Part of why I'm doing this is healing. And let's see what the scale says at the end of the year, at the end of September. So let's start with a couple of questions and then I'll get to the recap of the cost. Okay, so the first question that I had this week, and I had this, is sort of like a question plus a few other comments that all seem to be related to the same thing. And that is, why was I focusing on beef? And that, beef is more expensive than some other choices. And, my budget seemed high to other people. So my parameters were that I was going to do clean Ketogenic, which to me is pretty much meat, some coffee, spices. That's kind of what I do every once in a while. Last month I was adding sauerkraut and kimchi. I haven't even done that this month so far. We're talking no vegetables. At any rate, I do focus on beef, and there's a couple of reasons. And I did 2 beef prep videos. I am going to be doing other things too, but let me tell you why I'm focusing on beef. From everything that I've been reading, ruminants are the most nutrient dense of the meats out there. So I like to focus on them. So to me, that's beef and lamb. I mean, there's other ruminants. There's elk, there's bison, all kinds of things. They tend to be more expensive though. So beef, of all the ruminants, is cheaper in my area. I did get a couple of lamb cuts in my last grocery haul, and they were cheaper. They fell into my maximum $10 a pound for meat price range. Now remember, I'm in Canada, so my $10 per pound is 7 something for you guys. I can't remember off the top of my head, because I know a lot of you are watching me from the US. So this is what we pay, so I have to go with what we pay here. So ruminants are the most nutrient dense. Beef in my area is the cheapest of the ruminants. A lot of people in the Facebook group that I have are doing BBBE. And so I do tend to cater to them a little bit and their needs because, they're giving me tons of support. They support me in all my ups and downs. If they're doing BBBE, I'm providing information for them where I can. And even though I'm not doing BBBE this month, and for those of you that don't know, triple B and E is beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. This is something that Dr. Barry came up with. Two Crazy Ketos this month are doing, a lot of videos about BBBE, so you can go check that out too. I'll link Dr. Barry's video down below. And so they, I'm doing, so a lot of my days, because I also enjoy BBBE, but a lot of my days do look like beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. It's just it's somewhere where I kind of fall naturally. Pork and chicken are generally cheaper, although chicken not so much. I mean, sometimes chicken breast can be pretty pricey, but pork for sure generally is a lot cheaper than beef. And I will do a meat prep video probably within the next couple of weeks that focuses on some of these other items besides beef. So, but I just wanted to answer why I was focusing on beef and why my budget seems higher. It's Canadian dollars, and I do prefer the beef, and I do understand that some people that budget amount is still too much, and eat pork and chicken. Eat whatever meat you can afford is basically how I see it. Somebody else was asking me about spreadsheets and apps to help, figure out what, how to say, or apps to figure out what you're spending. I mean, I'm an accountant, so Excel is kind of my go-to thing. I keep a spreadsheet. That's what I'm doing. I've got a spreadsheet right now. Every meal is in there that I've had this month so far, and what each component of the meal cost. I mean, I've broken down my things into, like, I know that a tablespoon of butter for me right now is 22 cents. Eggs were 38 cents, but I ran out of my Costco eggs, and so now going today onwards, my eggs went from 38 cents to 71 cents per egg. And so I have calculated those things to make it easy for me this month to figure out exactly how much it costs for me to eat. The Costco bacon that I'm buying is 46 cents a slice, stuff like that. I have it all in my spreadsheet. So when I put into my meal, 2 eggs, 3 bacon or whatever, it all gets calculated out. It's a fun thing that accountants do. They do weird stuff like that with their spreadsheets. But there's a couple of apps. That question made me think, and there are a couple of apps that I use to save money or to find deals. And one of them is Flipp, and I use Flipp on my phone. Now, other people have told me that they use Flipp, but I don't know if they're using it the same way I am, because they were saying things like it's hard to, look through the flyers. And I never look through the flyers on Flipp. What I do is I go in to my app, and it's free. I'm going to spell it out. It's FLIPP. So look for that on your, get it on your phone. You can also use it on your computer if you don't have a smartphone. But here it is. So it comes up and it looks like you're seeing a bunch of ads, but in the top is a search bar. Now, when I first installed this, I did put in all the grocery stores around me that I generally shop at, and I'm probably going to add a couple more. But at the top of the app, there's a search bar, and I don't look for flyers or stores. I look for specific items. So if I'm out of butter or I'm out of bacon, so I'm going to try bacon. Let's see who's got the best price on bacon this week. I'm lucky in that where I live, I've got all the major stores. They're all a few minutes from each other. So I can do this. If you're in a rural area, this might be useless for you. But if you're in an area where you have a choice of stores, this is a great way to price comparison shop. So I'm putting in the bacon. Okay, So it is telling me that President's Choice Bacon is on sale for $5.99 right now, Saturday to Monday. That's a good price here in Canada. But then it says Compliments Bacon, which is at Safeway, is on sale for $5.88. But this is where I'm going to warn you about shrinkflation. How big are those packages? So I'm going to just go in and... Okay, so the PC bacon, it's President's Choice, is $5.99 for 500 grams, which is a pound. So that's a whole pound. I swear, like I pick up packs of bacon sometimes and I'm looking at them and realizing that they are 375 grams, which is about 3/4 of a pound. And so you have to be careful. So that's the President's Choice Bacon. So that's a Superstore, Shoppers Drug Mart, some of the independents, they all sell President's Choice. Compliments at Safeway, let's check it out, $5.88. So that's, 11 cents cheaper. 375 grams. So it's not cheaper, even though it appears to be cheaper. So there's an example how you can use this app. And I use this app all the time. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, simple little thing you can do. So that's that one. I highly recommend it. And it's not just for food, it's for everything you buy. And I find it especially useful, like when I was looking for my Instant Pot, or I was looking for my, any appliance or anything that's pricey, anything for the household or garden. I mean, if you save money on your other things, you can also, that gives you more money to spend on quality food if you so wish, or other things. So saving money wherever you can, not just food, is a good thing. And the other one I use is Rakuten. I don't have that on my phone. I use it on my computer because when I don't do any online shopping on my phone. I don't know. I'm paranoid about security still, I guess, and my computer's pretty secure. I have a son who's in cybersecurity, so I take all his advice. But anyways, Rakuten used to be called Ebates, and you can use it whether you're in Canada or the US. I'll put a couple of links below for how to sign up for Rakuten. And they do offer like if you refer a friend, I think they'll add $5 to your check. And I actually just got a check last week. I was going to have it here to show you, but it's only for $5.75. But hey, that's a pound of bacon, right? I can get a pound of bacon with that. So usually they send out a check every quarter, and usually the check that is the biggest for the year for me is the quarter that falls after Christmas, because I use it to do all my holiday shopping, which is going to start any time now. Because I don't have time to go shop in the malls and the stores and all that stuff. I do everything online. Rakuten, there's all kinds of stores that are affiliated with them. You don't pay more for the product by shopping through them. So, you just get whatever rebate. It's from 1% to 10%. The reason I got the $5.75 check is because I recently bought some clothes and some makeup online, and those usually pay higher percentages than things like food or, some of the bigger box stores, those boutique type stores or specialty stores generally pay more. So, check it out, because you just never know if you're going anyways. And then on my computer, I've just got the little Chrome extension, and it'll if I go into a store and start putting things in a cart, it'll come up and it'll say, hey, use your Rakuten because you're going to save an additional 8% or 6%, whatever it is. So, I'll put those links below. Anything that you can save is a good thing. So now let's talk about the food. So I, again, kept track of what I was having since, in the past week, say. And I'm not going to show you like every single day because that would just take too long, but I do have some meals or some days that I highlighted up here, and you'll see the graphic up here. So I highlighted 3 things up there: the most expensive day, the cheapest day, and then the second cheapest day, because the cheapest day ended up being the day that I did my 24-hour fast, so I only had 1 meal. So it kind of makes sense that that would be the cheapest day, but hey, what a good way to save some money to do a little bit longer fasting. So the most expensive day turned out to be $13.01 Canadian, or $9.97 US. So on that day, the thing that was interesting about it is it was one of the few days that I had supposedly cheaper food. It was chicken wings. Now, chicken wings, you can see that plate of wings. That's 12 wings there, and that package of chicken wings cost, I think, around $10. So I calculated each wing to be 83 cents or whatever. The thing with chicken wings, though, like I can eat a pound of chicken wings in one sitting, but I cannot eat a pound of beef in one sitting. So for me, I get, and part of that, of course, is going to be chicken wings are full of bones. And so there's a lot there that you're not eating. So the meat part of it is definitely less. So there's that. Plus, the chicken wings, there's something about them. They're just a little more snacky, a little more attractive to me. I seem to be able to put more of that away than, say, a steak. And even though in theory, the steak should be more expensive per pound than the chicken wings, I did get some good deals this last week, and so it actually wasn't the case. So the chicken wings did add to the cost. So on that day, I had ground beef soup, so that was like a half a pound of beef in there, grass-fed beef, so it was more expensive. The lamb steak that I had for dinner was around the $6 range. So it kind of made sense to me with between the wings and the soup and the lamb steak that would be a more expensive day. My cheapest day was, again, 24-hour fast. I only ate 1 meal. That was a canned turkey casserole that I made. It was just like a can of turkey. I mixed in some cheese and some of my BBBE noodles and threw it in my air fryer, overcooked it. But anyways, that was $5.85. It was tasty, but overcooked. So I went with the second cheapest meal to be eggs, like a couple of boiled eggs, a can of sardines, $2.99 for water-packed sardines near where I live. They're so good for you. It's not something that I eat a lot of, but I'm going to try to incorporate it more often. And the bacon, of course. Then for dinner, I got this huge sirloin tip for $12, like it was on sale. It's not usually that cheap. So I ended up eating $4 worth of that delicious looking meat that you see there. I made that in the sous vide. That was, I think, 8 hours at 128 degrees Fahrenheit to get that. I like to slice it and have it with some. I made a little dip with the butter mayo that I made, and I put a little bit of Dijon in that to make kind of a mustard sauce dip, and that was really good. That $8.63 or $6.61 US. So the total for the whole 7 days of food that I had was $69.81. So I think that's pretty good. I was kind of thinking it was going to be $100 a week. So apparently not. And I think where the savings are, to be honest, are I'm not snacking, I'm not making keto desserts.
Darn, eh?
This is something that, I think Other than maybe like special occasions, Christmas, you know, birthdays, that sort of thing, I think this is the way to go to not only get healthier and save money. I'm really excited to weigh in at the end of this month because I can really feel changes happening, not only with the fasting, but with just cleaning up what I'm eating. I hope that this is helpful for some of you. Let me know, or let me know if there's something else you want me to talk about or answer. Next week, there might not be a Tuesday talk because I have tentative plans to go away next weekend, which is usually when I'm planning and filming this out. So we'll have to see. They're not solid yet. I'm trying to make them solid at this point. So I might be away for a few days, and so there might be less video next week. That would affect the week after. Anyways, kept it long enough. I will see you guys next time. So take care and see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.
Oh boy, I forgot to take a look at what it was. I meant to make a note what that was. Oh yes, the sardines.